Just like that, your weekend is over and back to work you go.
And here we are, right there on your TV screen again.
Scotty Ray, good morning. This is Otis.
Hey, how are y'all?
We added a new camera this weekend. If you're looking at this, if the lighting is a little off, we'll adjust it and have it a little bit more prepared for tomorrow morning. So,
but hey,
our little elves worked late working on all of this.
Yeah, everybody was up working, and Scotty Ray worked on his tan with this camera. He looks a little bit more colorized, so we felt like, a little color. I got my Oompa Loompa back.
Yeah, there you go. You got your natural color there.
Yeah, well, how was your weekend?
It flew by. Boy, we have had some crime this weekend. Now, y'all stay close. We've got a special guest coming up. Ricky Roberts will be our guest in a few moments. He's running for Sheriff of Lauderdale County. And we want to hear from him. What does he have to offer? Voting is coming up. We want you educated. That's how all this works. We'll hear from him. Then you got to decide. We've also got a poll on our Facebook page and our web page of a vote. Who do you think ought to be sheriff?
Yeah, go on there and
cast your ballot.
And cast your ballot. This is not official. You still have to go on August the 7th and cast your vote. August 8th. Hey,
you're getting them to show up a day early.
Vote early, vote often.
There you go. But we're going to be adding to this. We'll also be adding some other races. We'll do some from around the state and also some more local ones, corner, some of these big ones that people want to know, well, how's this looking? What are people thinking? We're going to have all that added to the page also.
It's a lot of people to try and bring in and do every election. Boy, this has been an election cycle.
We got a bunch of folks running, and there's just not enough time in an hour to get every single person.
Yeah.
Well,
some comments up there, so we can
see
what
some of our, need to do that. Who's
our
up and
people saying
there?
This is Monday. We got a bunch of good morning.
You're off center, she said. We'll work on that too here in a little bit.
Well, we're trying to. We've got to keep our seal of approval in there.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
we'll get it worked out by tomorrow. I promise you. Their new camera changes positions on everything over the weekend.
Don't go on the 7th. I'm sorry, Miss Roberts.
Nobody will be there but you.
Sure will.
Donna Jill ain't showing up that early.
Nope, not at all.
Over the weekend, another shooting in Meridian, Mississippi. Now, as we pull this up for you to take a look here, this would happen on Russell Drive as we go there. We see four-wheel drives, we see motorcycles. What really went on? Now, we have not gotten a statement from the Meridian Police Department, but we do have a pretty good idea of what happened. 2 people were shot. Now, as we get into this, as we look into the unconfirmed reports as of what I've got listed here, it would be an argument that breaks out. A knife is pulled. Well, when a knife is pulled, some people think that's pretty serious. So then out of the pocket and boom. Well, his best friend didn't seem to think that was a good idea, so he pulls his and shoots him. 2 people shot, 2 people rushed to the hospital. Man. One was in the face, another to the abdomen. We do not know much after that, after they arrived at the hospital, of what happened, what condition they are. As soon as we get more information, we'll find out. But arguments lead to bad things. Constantly shootings going on.
Yes, it does, and I hate this for both sides.
Yeah, I don't know what prompted this.
Yeah, that's going to take a little while to weed through and find out exactly what the cause of that was.
Do you take gambling bets had something to do with a woman?
Well, 90% of everything in America got something to do with a woman.
Whether it's a man, woman, a relationship, it's a fight. Y'all just don't know what police go through with love in the air of when they're called to the houses of these arguments. What do they call them?
Domestic situations.
Situations, that's it.
Yeah.
Bless them. We want to put this APB out also. If your truck was stolen, it's got issues.
Or if you just bought a brand new diesel engine. Cheap, but still good.
Here we go. Here it is. State Blvd extension pushed off a hill. Thieves would steal it the day before, and then they would take the motor out and pull up with the trailer and just give it a big whoof, and off the cliff it went.
think they wanted to go a little bit farther than what it did, though, didn't they?
True, they wanted it to keep going down in the bushes there. Simmons Wrecker had to show up to get it. It was so far down, they had to have one of them huge trucks to get that out of there.
Man.
No one was in the truck whatsoever.
Wow.
No, not sure if fingerprints were
Stealing
taken.
the truck, taking the motor, and then disposing of the truck. That's just tough.
We
all over.
almost had a drive-by yard sale yesterday. I showed up. I thought it was going to be a bargain.
We had to lighten the load.
Here we are, State Boulevard, and also Pine Springs Road. If y'all take a look at this, Dollar General truck, and let's just go down through here and look at a few of these pictures here. It was all up in the road. Here we go. I got some pictures of wheels here somewhere. There we go.
There wasn't much holding that truck on its wheels on the bottom side.
Right.
It was kind of iffy when I got there. I said, "Well, this ain't good."
Yeah,
But he didn't dump any fuel,
that was
so
a good
that
sign.
was a good thing.
He didn't seem to like me.
But
He said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Scotty Ray." "Why are you taking pictures?" I said, "I'm the media." "You can't do that." "Yes, I can." Then he went and turned me into a deputy, and they said, "He can do that. He's media."
and then he said, he came up to me and he said, "This is a real busy intersection." I said, "It's a very busy intersection." He said, "Everybody's got cameras." I said, "Yeah, you're famous."
I didn't know this. Yeah, he's everywhere now. Everybody. But I got tons of pictures of the Coca-Cola left in the middle of the road. After it was all said that he was drinking, that he left.
I want to see what was in it.
I've never been to this restaurant, but I hear it's pretty big down Bahama Bob's.
So when me and
Gulf
Amy,
Shores?
Yeah, Gulf Shores. When me and Amy started dating again, this time, our first date was in that place.
Oh, how special. I just feel
And now
my heart flittered.
See, pitter patter. And so that kind of has a little meaning for us, and to see it go up.
Let's talk a little bit more about crime in Meridian. When you go to bed at night, most of us go to work. We got to go to bed early. There's some other folks, Odie, that stay out late at night that don't want to work. Let me give you an example of that, and here we go. Bonita Auto Sales. Now look at this. This is called people taking what is not theirs. They need a set of tires. They just go steal them is what they do.
Just one from the left and one from the right.
I guess they were trying to keep up with their tire rotation.
I reckon so.
But this is not right. We can't stand for this. And I think most folks in the counties, no matter whether you're in Neshoba County watching me now, Newton County, Lauderdale, Kemp, wherever it is that you're watching us from, or out of state, this is big. We got to stop this stuff.
Yeah. And make it to where these criminals are not just pushed back out or allowed to do that again.
It's gotten so bad, Odie. Folks that come to visit us that are passing through our town. Let me show you this. This happened this weekend.
They drive faster.
They do drive. But they try to stay at a local hotel, and their cars get broken into while they're asleep visiting our city. Windows were busted out of these cars. Credit cards were taken. It's your card. People don't always think to take things out. They don't think that it'll happen. But it did this weekend. This would be near Sam's is where that happened. As you'll see, there's Popeyes on that map. It happened, and it will happen again.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was huge for Meridian and our hotel business because every one of them stayed packed during the night because of our location. Believe it or not, we are in a very good location for anything. Commerce,
All
the whole
interstates
9
come through
yards.
here.
All interstates come through here.
Greatest drug trafficking city there is.
But all
comes
these
through
guys,
here seriously.
it does. You're right. I mean, we just don't want that part to stop. But so many businessmen and traveling salesmen and all, they came to Meridian as the layover to get a night's rest, to get everything going. Then they finish their work the next day. And then at the end of the week, when they come back home, Meridian was back a layover. You stopped here, got your rest, and then you went on back home. And you could not get a hotel room in the city of Meridian because it was packed. And now, look at what we've got. Our hotels are not full anymore. We're not bringing in as many people overnight. It's just a different city than what it was 20 years ago.
Time to fix that. And I think most everybody that watches this and is really aware of what goes on around us want that to happen.
Yeah.
Up and coming, our special guest. And also, I mentioned earlier, we'll have the Lieutenant Governor joining us later today. He's going to be coming to the studio for an interview and talk about his bid for re-election for the great state of Mississippi. So we'll have Delbert Hoseman joining us later this afternoon. Be on standby on our Facebook page to watch that live, as we'll carry that later this afternoon. Ricky Roberts joins us next. Y'all don't rush off. You got something to say, and we'll be listening for your comments.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Hello, I'm Billy Solly, and for almost 3 decades I have served as your Sheriff of Lauderdale County. I have chosen to retire, and it's time for you, the voters, to select my successor. On August 8th, I'm asking you to please go to the polls and vote for Ward Calhoun as your next sheriff.
Thank you for your endorsement, Sheriff Solly, and I'm asking for your vote humbly to serve as your next sheriff. Please vote Ward Calhoun on Tuesday, August 8th in Republican primaries.
Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381.
It's almost election time. Have you researched the candidates? My name is Michelle Griffith Joyner, and I'm asking for your vote for Lauderdale County Justice Court Judge District 1. With a bachelor's degree in criminology and more than 23 years of experience actually working in a criminal court, I'm qualified, experienced, and ready. My goals are to enforce personal responsibility and reduce recidivism. On August 8th, please vote for qualifications. Vote Michelle Griffith Joyner for Lauderdale County Justice Court Judge District 1. Learn more about me at joynerforjustice.com.
Will Parker is your local lawyer located here in Meridian. If you've been in an auto accident, see Will and get the help you deserve. Will explain your rights. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Will Parker, your local lawyer, 2110 Front Street, Meridian. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie as we begin this day together. And yes, we're going to get the set straightened out to where we're all even. We're not there yet.
We're getting there. It's Monday.
Yeah,
We've been working all week. He was busy all day. I was busy all day.
It happens.
But that's all right.
Our special guest in with us today. Let's turn cameras over here. Here he is. Ricky, how in the world are you doing today?
Good morning, Scotty.
Look,
Man.
glad to have you here. Your mics are hot now.
Hey, there we go.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for allowing me to come and speak to you this morning and talk to the general public.
I had a chance to see you and your opponent this weekend out in Wyandotte. I'm telling you, I was impressed with Wyandotte with them redoing the school. Isn't that gorgeous?
It was a nice crowd and very good people. I knew a lot of them out there. Some of them I went to school with. Saw a couple of coaches, teachers, and it was just a great atmosphere, good food, and even got to play a little bingo.
I didn't stay for the bingo.
Didn't nobody tell me we're going to have no bingo out here.
A lot of fun. My little granddaughter won a free card, and boy, she was excited.
Oh, is that what you got?
Yeah.
We had a picture y'all posted there. That was a cute. I'll see if I can't find that in a minute of you holding her.
That's my newest granddaughter, Hallie. She's about 3 months old.
Oh, bless her heart.
Boy.
Yeah, she was cute as a button. I'll see if I can't find that here in just a second so everybody can get a look at that. Now, you're off and running for Sheriff of Lauderdale County. It's a big step. You come from being a judge, which you've seen the other side of the law. You've been on this side of the law, and now you're after the highest office in law enforcement.
Right. Yes, sir. I started my career at the Meridian Police Department in 1987. I went through the ranks, and in '94 I became a K-9 officer and I was a K-9 officer for 14 years. Wow. I was a patrol sergeant, and in 2000 I got elected to constable in District 1 for 2 terms, and then in 2008 I was elected Justice Court Judge for 4 terms.
That's a lot of them.
That's being in the middle of it and doing your part for the public. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. I've served the public for over 30 years, and I love my career, and time's flying though. It's went by fast.
It has now. As we get deeper into this, I want to bring this. Let me pull this up here because I know that you've done some other interviews around the area, and talk is that you've gone ahead and announcing who your chief deputy will be.
That's correct.
And I'm going to let you tell us who that is.
Well, no secret. My chief deputy is going to be Chris Reed.
And I even got a picture of him. Now, I want to warn everybody before I show this picture, it could scare you.
It's just a glow on the top.
It's a little glow there. Here y'all go.
We were in one of the functions, I believe, up at Lauderdale, and it was hot. But Chris and I go back a long way. We worked together at the police department. He come on in '99. I was already in K9, and I was one of his training officers, and I helped him get his first K9. And then in '08, when I left for judge, he started working on the interstate ICE unit, and so. I know Chris. I know what kind of person he is. I know what he brings to the table, and I know that he can be a big benefit to the department.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Chris, a lot of people like Chris, and probably one of the few times that I can remember that a lot of people even knew who a chief deputy would be. As you take the highest office, you want apparently the best that can be gotten to be your right hand, so to speak. I guess you'd call that right hand, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, sir.
So.
And like I said, Chris is a fine fellow. He's a good Christian guy, and he's really smart, and he's done real well in law enforcement. And that's the thing. I want to surround myself with good people, because we've got so much going on, and we've got to have a department that runs good. And I'm just looking forward, because I'm going to surround myself with good people, good, well-trained people that can get the job done.
And as we all know, Chris can do that. Don't make his head swell talking about how pretty he was and all that. Two-time man of the year.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he was on that.
Can he beat you out this year?
Chris called me and he goes, "Did you know that you and I are both up for man of the year?" And I said, "No, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that at the time." But boy, he says he's going to come over and we'll figure it out when they announce it. We'll do a thing together as that comes up. Ricky, let's ask this. What do you consider, as we look at everything that's going on in our area, what is the biggest challenge that you would face as being Sheriff of Lauderdale County? What is it that you put into a nutshell and go, this is my first plan here to go after?
Well, crime is on the rise, and I think everybody understands that. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my deputies are polite and courteous to the public. And the reason I say that, we've got to have a good working relationship with the public. If you don't give them respect, you can't get respect.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's so important. I know my dad told me the first day on the job when I was leaving home that day, he said, "A gun and badge don't make you better than anybody. You treat people with respect the way you'd want to be treated, or you'd want your mother to be treated." And I always remembered that, and I applied that during my time wearing a badge, and also while I was on the bench. I made sure that everybody that come through the courts that were treated with respect. And so that's the first thing. We've got to get because look, we can't do it by ourselves. We have to work with the public, and by doing that, we can get a whole lot more done.
Yes.
And and so then we've got to work on getting more deputies on the road. I've spoke with some of the supervisors, and I told them, look, I'm going to talk to you about that. We've got to figure out a way to get more deputies on the road, because look. We hear, technology's out there, cameras, there's all sorts of different things. But look, we've got to have a deterrent. Deterrent is the key to it. The more deputies you have on the road, the better chance of something happen. I would rather have deputies on the road patrolling than have to come to your house and work a crime scene where somebody's broke into your house.
Yeah.
And stole your possessions, or even stealing a lawnmower from your garage. We've got to do better than what we're doing.
Now that's important, and I think that makes people. It does deter people. It makes you feel good to see law enforcement pass by.
Yeah, a little proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah, on the campaign trail, and that's something else that I've done. I've listened to the people. I've listened to the concerns and what their wants and what their needs, and that's the biggest thing I hear on the campaign trail is we never see an officer presence. They can't be everywhere at any given time. Because that's because of manpower, part of it. That's why I think it's important that we get more manpower out there on the streets, but also the safety of those officers. When you have 2 or 3 deputies working at any given time, that's not safe. I'm sorry, but it's not. You need more people out there. And also, it'll help cut on the response time. You know, I hear people say, well, you know, it took forever for them to get there. Well, there is a lot of calls that come through dispatch. And
Yeah.
so that's something that we've got to work on.
You know, that even goes into highway patrol. I know I've talked to a bunch of them. They will be in another county and something happened here, and they've got to drive all the way back because they just don't have enough officers. And it is a big problem statewide as we try to fill those. More coming up with Ricky. Y'all hang on. He's not done yet. As we carry this, if you've got a question, we'd love to hear from you here. Make a comment as we go through this. We'll be right back as we interview him. Y'all put a smile on. We'll be right back. Garrett Outfitters on 8th Street is getting you ready for summertime. A large selection of cool hobo shirts. Maybe it's short sleeves. Maybe you need a pair of shorts. If you're going to be cutting grass or maybe riding a tractor this summer, you're going to need a straw hat to keep cool. And as you head to that favorite fishing hole, don't forget you'll need a pocket knife along with a great rod and reel. And if you earn your living in the woods, don't forget to check out their big selection of snake boots, Carhartt pants and shirts for any occasion. It's Garrett Outfitters, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. Summertime has arrived and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk.
I'm Nick Lisi, and I'm running for Justice Court Judge of District 1. Justice Court is the people's court, and I've been serving the people of Lauderdale County for 30 years. I grew up here, and now having 4 kids of my own, the future of our community matters to me. On August 8th, remember, vote Republican, vote Nick Lisi.
Did you say you want to go get a Subway now?
I do. I done got hungry. And yesterday
After you see old
morning,
Nick, you have to go get you one.
it's almost like at Lee's Donuts.
I mean, it's hard to pass by, isn't it?
Man, after we left that call yesterday morning, I said, I'm going to Lee's.
I don't know why Meridian has never gotten a, because I am like Krispy Kreme. I'm that guy. Krispy Kreme just has a taste that no other donut has worldwide.
Have you had Lee's?
Yes, I've been there. But I'm just telling you that it's like Dairy Queen.
Well,
That
now,
ice
hey.
cream taste. Y'all know what I mean? But it's like Miracle Whip
Yeah.
and Blue Plate. And Odie's having to adjust, aren't you?
Oh, boy. Bad. Oof.
What is she dragging?
Yeah.
What were you and what are you now?
We on Miracle Whip now.
All right, let's ask Ricky. Ricky, are you Blue Plate or are you Miracle Whip?
Blue Plate.
Blue Plate.
All the way.
There's a lot of people that will not eat it with Miracle
Our
Whip.
dad, we only eat Blue Plate. Still
I
do.
don't care. It doesn't bother me. But, boy, Amy is, we going to get Miracle Whip. Well, as cheap as I am, I ain't buying but one.
What was the guy that was on TV when we were all kids with the spoon? You know, they'd show up at the store with the empty bottle of Miracle Whip. I just remember
Can't
that.
remember.
And then there was Mr. Whipple and all that bunch there.
Yeah.
With the toilet paper.
It was. The race is coming. You had a question you wanted to ask.
Yeah, so one of the questions that I wanted to bring up is if you were elected sheriff, what are some things that you would change with the sheriff's department, and what are some things that you may keep? But I want to also include a question in our comments that someone posted about if you had the proper manpower, would you break Lauderdale County into districts to better serve the areas with our deputies?
Well, you know, that's something that I've thought about, you know, and that would help with response time. It's all going to depend on how much manpower I have, whether we break it into the districts or.
Is that kind of like saying, like the way the fire department does? We got this side, and their response time is quick.
Kind of like when I was at the police department, you know, back then we had territories, you know, and it covered each corners and of the city, and then you had a downtown car, and then you had at large cars, and what that does is that keeps that presence in the communities more.
Right.
And so that's something that I will be looking into, and like I said, a lot of it's going to depend on the manpower. As far as change, you know, anytime a new sheriff goes in or a new chief, there's always going to be changes, and we all know that, and it's not going to be any different if I go in. Of course, the command staff will be changed, and that's something that I'll have to do.
Well, and you refer to that as like Trump taking office. He brings in his people.
Right.
Nobody.
That's right.
There's a lot of the same people, but the upper people he depends on.
Of course, there's rumors out there that I'm firing everybody at the sheriff's department. That is not correct. That is false. There are some good people working down there, really fine officers. But I am going to make some changes, and it's going to be for the better. And you know, it's not about Ricky Roberts. It's about surrounding myself with people, good, well-trained people, to get the job done. Because look, we serve the people, and it's at the end of the day, it's all on me, and I want to make sure that my people are good, well-trained, hard-working people.
You know, and I go back and let me refer to. We were having lunch with. I think you were there. Sat down with Todd Kemp, who is the sheriff of Clark County, and he made the statement. He goes, "You never rest." He goes, "Once that is put on you," he said, "you will never rest again, because it all falls on you, no matter what. The weight of the citizens. Am I doing the right thing? What could I have done better?" And that is a heavy load to carry, isn't it?
You know, no matter what a deputy does, or no matter what goes on, at the end of the day, I'm responsible.
Yeah. You don't want to have to make a phone call to somebody that this turned bad.
That's right.
Yep.
And you know, the other thing is I want to make sure that my officers are safe. That's another thing that why I'm wanting more manpower. Because look, when those guys put on those vests and those uniforms when they leave their home, they don't know if they're coming home or not. People really don't understand how it is when you do that. And I don't want to be the sheriff if something were to happen. I want my guys safe. This is a whole different world out there, and it's dangerous.
Criminals, as you take people who go to college and get educated to go do their jobs, criminals do the same thing. This is all crime goes back to people that organize. It's organized in some kind of way, teaching them how to do it more quickly, because there's a top dog somewhere making money off all of them.
That's correct.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Now we've got our catalytic converters. Don't worry about that.
Right.
They just want a little 6-pack of beer to go sell that. But
Yeah.
these major crimes, there's other people behind it, and I know that y'all want to crack down on this, and you've had experience with each and every one of it.
Yes, sir.
Well, one of you said that if you had the manpower, what are your thoughts on building a reserve unit inside Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department?
Odie, I've had a lot of officers that are certified officers that work full-time jobs that has reached out to me and said they would love to come back and get back in law enforcement, and that is something that I'm definitely going to do. Look, the more people we have, the better. That gives me more manpower, and you know, reserve deputies, they don't cost anything.
Right.
The only thing we got to do is give them a uniform and a car to drive.
Y'all like to have me hooked on that until somebody said you got to go run 1.5 miles. Have y'all lost your mind? It's 1.5 miles.
Look, it's tough.
You got to take a class and go. So it's not you just walk up. Oh boy!
Now look, this isn't a
Count
little
me
bit
out.
of class. This is 4 hours a day, twice a week for 9 months. This is you're not getting someone just off the street saying, "Hey, I'd like to be a Barney Fife." You're actually getting people who actually went through education. They've got more than one bullet in their pocket.
Yeah, you have more than one.
But no, I mean, the reserves are people who've been through training and know what they can and can't do.
That is correct, and also you can have part-time. So there's different avenues that we can take to increase our manpower. But that is one of the things that I'm really going to work hard on, because I just know that it's important. I know back when I was at the city, you know, if you got in a bad situation and you call for backup, you may have, you know, 7 or 8, 10 cars pull up.
Yeah.
You know, and you need that, because, you know, like I said, there's some bad stuff goes on out there. People don't really realize how much and what the officers have to respond to.
Let me tell you something. A cop can be called to a domestic disturbance here in Meridian and show up, and there'd be 40 people there, and it's one cop.
That's right.
He gets out, next thing you know, it's 100.
That's correct.
That happens nightly.
It does, and so, you know, you need that backup.
More coming up with Ricky as we travel through this early Monday morning. Get some coffee. I'm down 3/4 here.
I'm almost done, but I got a sip left. But that's okay, because we're having fun bringing the morning to you.
Hello, I'm Ricky Roberts, and I have been privileged to be a lifelong resident and public servant of Lauderdale County. There's no denying crime is on the rise, and there's unrest in our community. It's time for action. It's time for change, and it's time to ensure the safety of the future for our families together. I ask that you elect me, Ricky Roberts, on August the 8th to be your next sheriff, and allow me to continue serving you. This is our county, this is our home, and together we can protect it.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Are you ready for summer? Massey has a 2021 Jeep Wrangler that's waiting on you with only 61,000 miles. How about a Rogue with 57,000 miles? A 23 Camry with only 50 miles on it? Or maybe it's a Toyota Tacoma four-wheel drive that you're needing. From Silverados to F-250s, Massey Supermart Auto Sales, 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
I'm Devin Snowden, Republican candidate for District 1 Supervisor.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Odie as we begin this morning. You know, something happened on Friday as I was out and about. I got word that there was a car wreck. And Ricky, you've responded to car wrecks many, many times. The good thing about this, and I'm going to show this picture of this, deputies arrived on scene, Metro were there. Fortunately, no one was hurt in this. Now, there was some scratches, don't get me wrong, but y'all look at this picture here. This is by Greg's Fireworks. Look at this. Had some kids in the minivan. They were okay. And then I think we had a couple people here in the 4Runner, and they ended up okay. This could have been so totally different. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
That's scary.
That is. I mean, that was a hard hit.
And, of course, you face that. And response time is what we were talking about there, being able to get there. You need somebody on the scene taking care of the situation when something like that happens.
That's great. You know, accidents, I have seen some really bad ones, and that's something that we also are going to do. We're going to have traffic enforcement. You have to have that. That's part of it.
Folks that drive at speed, yeah, that's important there.
What with wrecks like that, and not just like that one there, but how important is it to have a relationship with the Highway Patrol, with the City of Meridian, with other outside agencies when you're doing a job as sheriff, and the benefits for the county? How does that play a part, the relationship with these outside agencies?
Odie, working with other agencies is very important, and that's like I said earlier. You know, we can't do it by ourselves. I will do everything in my power to work with the City of Meridian, with the Highway
And that's
Patrol.
A big question, I think, with everyone. The City of Meridian, what goes on here, because it's kind of scary right now.
Right. Highway Patrol. Look, we're all working for the people, and that's what we've got to remember. The people is what's important. And I believe if we all put our resources together, we can get a whole lot more done. So that is one of my biggest points, that I will do everything I can to work with not only just state, local, but state and federal agencies also.
Now, let me get to something that I feel is big. I've been watching this for the last year and a half, 2 years, somewhere along in there, and each day it gets a little bit worse. And when I first started reporting all this, I got a bad rep. People were jumping on me. Oh, you're making fun of people. No, I'm not. We have a serious problem in Meridian, and where I'm going with this is homeless. What is your thoughts on this? What has to be done?
Well, the homeless situation is a problem nationwide. We're not the only ones that's having a problem. But in Meridian, in Lauderdale County, we do have a problem.
Because among the homeless, now again, there's some people that are displaced, but there's also criminals.
Right. Well, you know, there's, in my opinion, you got basically two types. You got the homeless and you got the transients. You know, the homeless some are down on their luck. They lost their job, they lost their home. Then you got the transients who basically that's what they choose, and they make their life doing it. And that's the ones that's doing your criminal activity. You know, it's not against the law to sit on the side on the curb but if you're breaking the law, then that's a problem. And you know, I went and talked to some of the downtown business owners. In fact, two I've talked. There's two of them that I know of that's going to close down pretty soon because of that problem.
I mean, Ricky, and I don't want to scare anybody, but I mean, we're at a level where people are using a bathroom on the streets of Meridian, Mississippi, and I'm not talking the 10-100. We're talking the more serious situation.
Right.
And they don't see a problem with it. This week, I was on the way to stop by Odie's office up by Fire Station Number 1. And I guess the best word for it is a wino. Laid out, still had the bottle in his hand hanging off a staircase. I got a picture over the weekend of somebody flat out in the middle of Sam's parking lot. Now, do you feel comfortable getting out of your car with your children with that there? Y'all think about that.
Just don't want my kids seeing it.
Well, there are organizations that we can work with to help with the homeless situation. I know there's one out of Jackson. I can't remember the name, but we're going to have to try and all work together to come to a solution to work on this, because look, you've got, you know, Meridian, you know, the downtown area is booming. It's business are opening up. It looks great downtown.
And it's beautiful.
And it's a shame that we're having this problem and business are having to close down. So you know, someone says, well, you know, the sheriff just works only in the county. Well, look, it's all Lauderdale County. And I'm going to, as I said, I even talked to the mayor at the Veterans Day, and I told him, I said, if I'm elected sheriff, you know, I will do anything I can to work with y'all, and maybe we can put our resources together. But end of the day, we've all need to work together to try to come up with a solution, because look, you've got people that live in the city that have businesses that go to town. You have people that live in the county that have businesses. So we all got a stake in it. And so we've got to try to figure out something, and we're going to work. I'm going to work hard to try to help with that problem.
Yeah, and it is something that we all see and face, and we're seeing more of it now. Is where I was going with all this. In the past, it's been something that's been on the back streets. Now it's starting to flow onto our main streets, where we see a little bit more of it. And I always say this when we're talking with this: 18th Avenue, one of the worst places. People will step out in front of your car on purpose. Just so everybody knows that's a common occurrence now.
Yeah, that one little area down towards the back side of the shopping center.
Yes.
Across the street. Yeah, all the way down that railroad track. You've got to be careful coming through there.
And it's you know, it goes into cleanup of. I know that in certain areas of town that had that, they've gone in and started cleaning the underbrush out to where it's visible what's lying out there, so you can see that.
The cardboard houses and.
Yeah.
We got to say.
What do we got to say?
Good morning to everybody down in Clark County.
What are they doing?
Bubba Johnson, he got on there and he said, look, we're going through a tough time over here, and they are with the dam breach. Just wanted to say, we're thinking about you. And Mr. Johnson, he kindly let us use his boat last night. Of course, Anthony Chancellor was driving it. Me and Barry White and Tasha, the EMA director, are right now, and who else did we have? Bradley was with us. So we decided we were going to go out. We had to get a closer look at this dam. And we got fairly close.
Let me show y'all a quick picture of this before we go back to Ricky here in a second. Let me pull this up. This is Archusa. This is what we're looking at down there right now. Look at this. This is where it's broke and all of this flooding back here.
We didn't get quite as close as those boats are. Of course, it was last night. It was all we had was flashlight power. We got probably twice as far away from them, trying to get an idea of what's going on. But our prayers are going out with them. Talk about a response. Eddie Ivy showed up last night. Didn't have to, but the knowledge that he has and the care that he has for Clark County. He showed up and said, all right, guys, look, this is what happened 23 years ago when this happened before and what to expect. So that's a lot of knowledge that came in. And Anthony, he was in and out of the water trying to get all these boats out.
A lot of work went on there. A big thank you to everybody, the unsung heroes that were out there. We appreciate y'all.
So, and our prayers are with y'all. We really are. And Tasha, if there's anything we can do, all you got to do is call again.
More coming up as we start this early Monday morning. Already 20 minutes before the hour.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
Hello, my name's Kenneth Graham, and I'm running for coroner of Lauderdale County. For over 50 years, Lauderdale County's been represented by professional and competent coroners. I would like to continue that tradition. Over the next several months, I want to educate the public on what the coroner does and dispel any myths about the coroner job. I can show you that I will be the most professional coroner there is. So please vote for me August the 8th.
Paid for by the Committee for the Election of Kenneth Graham.
Patrick Allen Companies services and repairs all brands of overhead doors, residential and commercial. Our service technicians are factory trained and have over 125 years of combined experiences. At Patrick Allen Companies, we are not interested in being the biggest, just the best. We are just 4 miles south of Meridian on Highway 145. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Odie as we begin another Monday. No rain in the forecast. Can y'all believe that?
It was so wet, I told my wife, I said, look, I've got to cut grass. I don't care if I'm mud bogging or not. I've got to cut grass. And so I got 90% of it done. I still got a little bit more to go. But, man, it was so wet under there. I think I got one brim bed with my blades, but that's all right.
Hey, I want to say this. A big thank you to the city of Meridian. I was driving to the shooting scene early Sunday morning before church, and I'm going out and I think, what is that? It's a waterfall in Meridian. And I looked over at Johnson Hyundai. Water was going everywhere if we look at this picture here. And, of course, that's where it was. And after we posted, the city came out and got that fixed. So big thank you to them for fixing that. I'm telling you, it was just like a little fire hydrant going.
As hot as it was, you could have gotten in there and kind of cooled off.
Well, I figured it was going to be a crowd with slippery slides there. And we also had another miracle this weekend that no one was hurt I wanted to bring up as we pull this up. Newton County. They sent out for the Mississippi Wildlife to show up. The Newton County EMA showed up. About 5 to 6 people got thrown from canoes and were floating down the Chunky, and they were hanging on to trees, and they were rescued. No one hurt. Can y'all believe that?
One was able to get out, which was good because he was able to call and say, look, everybody else is on a tree, and able to get people to come down there and find them. So good job to everybody involved with that.
Appreciate that. As we head back to Ricky, our special guest here, who is running for Sheriff of Lauderdale County, one of the highest offices that we do have here. And we want you to vote. It's coming up August the 8th is when it will be. Polls will open at 7 that morning, I believe.
And stay open till at least 7 o'clock at night. And as long as you're in line by 7 o'clock, you will vote.
It's so important to go vote. You know, no matter how you vote, you got to go on that day and cast your vote.
Amen.
If you don't vote, it don't count.
It doesn't.
That's right. That's
now,
right.
another subject that keeps getting brought up is our jail system here. What are your thoughts on our jail?
Well, a new jail is coming. I've talked with some of the supervisors, and you know, they got the new facility now that they're just about completed, the new courthouse, and we got the, you know, of course, the new sheriff department, and they're just wanting it out of downtown area, and the jail is old, and it's got some problems, and so it's coming. Of course, it'll be up to the supervisors. Where they going to put it. Of course, I have my own ideas of where it needs to be, but it's coming.
So that's right around. What about, we get into this, I see a lot of juvenile crime in Lauderdale County. Your thoughts on juvenile, and where are our juvenile going?
That is a big problem. I had the opportunity to talk with one of the juvenile judges a few weeks ago, and people are upset because of all the juvenile crimes. The other day, a few weeks ago, we had an armed robbery where one of the juveniles had on an ankle bracelet.
Yeah.
And but we don't have a detention facility for juveniles here, and they have to be transported all over the state, and it is costly. And so, but if the judges sentence one of them, and there's nowhere to take them, then the only choice they have is to put them on probation and put them on ankle.
So you can be sentenced, be taken somewhere, and you arrive and there's no room.
And they'll call, and they'll either say, yeah, we'll take them or we won't. And then if they get up there and there's a problem with them, if they get in a fight or if they get sick, then we have to go back and pick them up. And in some cases they'll deny. They say we don't want them. And so what do you do? And there's a lot of juvenile crime now. And even the judges told me even a lot of the parents get upset because the judges didn't do more. The parents say, look, they need to be locked up. Well, we don't have anywhere. And so that's something that we're all going to have to work on.
So the possibility of a juvenile facility.
Correct.
If we build a new jail.
We've got that juvenile center out there where it is now. It's just, the judge that I talked to said, really just all it needs to do is just do some renovation and until we can figure out something better. But I think that is something that we'll have to address.
And I don't have numbers, and I'm sure you don't either, but boy, it'd be interesting to know the amount of crimes or the breakdown of the age groups. I would be curious, because I know a lot of robberies here lately, and shootings have been that 18, anywhere from 14 to 25.
Well, a lot of your gangs, especially gangs, your criminal, they'll let a juvenile do that crime because they know that the penalty is a lot less, and a lot of times they don't get locked up. And so that like I said, that is a serious problem going on, and we've got to address it.
Now, you said the word there, and way back in Meridian, you couldn't use the G word, the gang word. It's here.
It's here.
How just putting it lightly, how would you describe our problem here? How big of a gang problem do you think we have?
Well, I remember back in the early '90s, we had a officer from LAPD come in, and because we started seeing gang signs, and she come and rode around town with us, and even then she said y'all have a serious gang problem. So we've had it for a long time.
That is here, so we don't want to. Oh, I turned my mic off. Let me turn it back on. Back
now here you go again.
I turned something off. I forget to turn it back on. But it is a serious thing, and there for years nobody wanted to talk about it. But we were way past that, and I don't know if we have. You break this down, is it best to have people that and we may already have this to where people work specifically just on that, of trying to solve crimes that deal with those. And I think it will lead to all of that.
All right.
Yeah. So how old is our current jail?
It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was built in the late '90s, I believe.
Somewhere around in there, because I want to say it was at the time I just got out of the Navy, something like. So it's got a few years. This is a 24-hour use building, 7 days a week.
Well, times change, and you always need updates and more, really more room, because look, more and more people are being sentenced to jail, and we're gonna need more room.
Yeah, we are. More on the way with Ricky as we begin this this Monday morning. We do hope you've got a smile with us as we do this. And, of course, we'd love to hear your comments there. It's wide open there. I see Michelle Griffith Joyner up there. How are you this morning, girl?
Morning, Shale.
We'll be right back.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
It's campaign season. Do yourself a favor and elect Reed Tree Service. Got a tree that scares you each time that it sways in the wind? Elect Reed Tree Service to remove that threat. Have storm winds knocked a tree down in your yard and you want it gone? Elect Reed Tree Service. Professional, experienced, insured. Call Mike 601-416-1233 and elect Reed Tree Service for all of your needs. Tell him Scotty Ray sent you.
Same old sound, and no one's answering. Vote for change. Vote Ben Shirley, District 81 Representative, on August 8th. Ben will answer the phone. Ben will get answers in Jackson for District 81. Ben will create jobs and promote economic development for East Mississippi.
I'm Ben Shirley, and I'm asking for your vote in the August 8th Republican primary.
Vote Ben, District 81, August 8th. Paid for by Ben Shirley.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything, from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
It's Monday.
Welcome. One thing that I want to bring up that is going on throughout the Meridian, this is really, really good to have this in our community. You're going to see them at 8:30 North Crest. As we pull this up to take a look here, Love Out Loud kicks off today in Meridian. You will see churches. It's 30 to 50 churches involved with this that go out in the community and will help do things for the community. It's great. So as you'll see, I think they're wearing black T-shirts this year that say, well, it's got this on it, I think. Serve.
Got the LOL and serve on it, and that's awesome. Boy, I tell you, they have really started something that's great for this community. And when you do something good, and sometimes you just got to toot your own horn, and I got to teach you to do that because you hadn't tooted your own horn. But the Scotty Ray show has made national news.
Can you believe that? We, as we broke the story last night, Clark County, we were picked up by Daily Mail, which is a huge news carrier in the United States, and they gave credit to us for getting the story from us. So we grow a little bit more each day due to y'all, and we cannot say thank you enough for each and every one of you. And the people when I'm out and about that come up and speak to us.
Yeah.
We can't thank y'all enough.
It's been a great ride, and I'm just sitting in the passenger seat while he drives. But it's fun.
Be careful.
Yeah, hit the bump.
There's potholes every once in a while.
We got to dodge.
With us this morning, as we've talked about, our candidate for Sheriff of Lauderdale County, Ricky Roberts. Maybe you know him. Maybe this is the first time you've ever laid eyes on Ricky. And I hope you had a chance to get an impression about what Ricky's. For the folks that are out there, let's talk about this, that don't know you, never seen you before. Tell them why they ought to vote for Ricky.
Well, I'm a lifelong resident of Lauderdale County. I was born and raised here. I have a family here. I have 2 children. I got 3 grandchildren. I've always loved Meridian, Lauderdale County, and I've sat back and I've watched how things are going, and crime is on the rise, and it is, and I had a tremendous amount of people coming to me asking me to run. And I want the people to know that it's not about as I've said before, it's not about Ricky Roberts. It's about all of us, a group of people that's got the same vision, the same cares, the same wants, and we need to come together and make this place better. We've got to do more than's being done now. Crime is bad, and people are scared to go to town. They're scared to go out with their families, and I want the people to know that if elected your sheriff, that I will do everything in my power to make this a safer place. I also want you to know that if you ever have a problem, that I'll always have an open door policy, and I want you to call me, and we'll work it out.
Now, if you're just tuning in, you also in the early part of this announced that Chris Reed would be a part of your administration should you be elected.
Right. And like I said, I know Chris and we're both on the same page. We both got a lot of plans to make this community safer.
Now, one thing that, and I go to a little bit of joking here as we do this, because I've known Ricky a long time, and I've known a lot of his family members. And there's one thing that any family member will tell you, and God bless you, so you were like your mama's favorite. And
don't say that. Chuck gonna get mad, and I'm between y'all.
Well, I tell you, our parents were very good parents. My mother and dad, instilled in us to be good to people, and we've always tried to do that. And we've had some that's there's 4 of us that are elected officials, and we're proud of that. And someone asked me, said, well, how do you do it? I mean, how do y'all get elected? And I said, I'll tell you how. 1, we do the job that we're elected to do, and we're good to the people. Because look, that's the bottom line. We work for the people.
Well, and I've heard you say this before, and it kind of rings with all of that. Of you treat every lady as if she was your mother, and if you treat people with respect, I think that has so much to do with it. And I've seen you do that.
People don't understand, but that is one of the most important things in this job is you've got to show respect. Because look, we work for the people, we serve the people, and they are what's important.
It is. Man. Ricky, we can't thank you enough for coming in and spending a little time with us.
Thank y'all so much. I really enjoyed it. And again, I asked the people to please go to the polls on the 8th of August and vote Ricky Roberts.
There he is. Now, we're coming to the conclusion of our show. We're going to be behind the scenes today, working on everything that happens. And we're going to have a little bit more tomorrow that we didn't get a chance to bring in, things that happened over the weekend. We'll be talking about that in the morning also. And whatever happens today, Odie is on the job today.
Man, I tell you, we had a busy weekend. But definitely be out there if something happens. We love being with y'all every morning, and it's that time for us to go again. But we love you. We'll be back in 23 hours. Stay safe, stay cool, stay hydrated. Have a wonderful day.
103 to 4 on the heat index today. So
find the shade.
We'll see you in the morning. God bless.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: